Hello everybody, I know it's been a while since I did a video and I just wanted to share some things with you guys. I've been really meditating on marriage and what marriage is in the eyes of God. Um, I believe that marriage is being one in spirit with each other, and I don't think it's how man looks at marriage. Of course, there's that legal contract, marriage license, a wedding. But in the beginning, it wasn't like that. Um, Adam and Eve, they didn't have a marriage license. And they didn't have a wedding, yet they were married. God made them one. So I think that marriage is a contract between the man and woman and God. And you don't really need a marriage license or wedding, really, per se. It's a covenant between you and God and that person that you love. And I believe that marriage is kind of like when you get saved, you ask Jesus to come into your heart. I think marriage is inviting that person into your heart and becoming one in spirit with that person. I think that's how it was in the beginning, before there were weddings, before there were marriage license. Um, Weddings are very pagan. If you look up all the things that you do at a wedding, they all come from very pagan things. So you might think you have a church wedding, but it may not be a Christian wedding, because a lot of wedding traditions are based on paganism. And I always thought the marriage vows were in the Bible, but they're not. And each culture is different on how you get married. The Bible talks about getting married and being married, but it doesn't tell you how to get married. There's no wedding vows in the Bible, or it doesn't even mention how to have a wedding. So I really think that getting married is really a covenant between God and that married couple. And it has nothing to do with a wedding or marriage license. In fact, marriage licenses are very new. I think they're only a couple hundred years old. And that was based on slavery. They had marriage license to control white people marrying black people. Then they made so much money off of them that they made it for like everybody. Everyone ends up having a marriage license. But I think marriage is deeper than a piece of paper from the government. And I think when you get married legally, you become, the state owns you and your spouse and children. So I just think that marriage is a little more deeper than weddings and marriage license. Sex, according to the Bible, sex is what made a man and woman husband and wife. They got together, they became husband and wife. And God told Adam and Eve to be fruitful, multiply, to have children, and that was what made them husband and wife. So, we have to think about who we want to be with and spend the rest of our lives with before we have a sexual encounter with someone. We definitely want to be with that person and make a covenant with them. But I don't believe that I have to have a marriage license to be with someone I love, or even a wedding for that matter. I mean, if I want to do a wedding, okay, but I think that marriage is really just a prayer away. You go before God and you make a covenant with that man or woman and with God, and that makes you one. And I know people are going to say, well, then teenagers could do that too, but I think it's deeper than that. Is when you come together to live together as husband and wife, and you make a covenant with each other that, hey, we will, you ask each other, you want to be my husband or wife, and you make that covenant together and before God, makes you one. And that's my thoughts on it. When I first got married, I did everything the traditional way, and now that I'm older, I've been really thinking about all this. When you start digging and studying about how things started, you realize not everything you thought was God is God. Marriage license is a government thing. It has nothing to do with God. They didn't always have marriage license. They just got married at church and wrote it in the Bible. So I just wanted to share that with you. There was a group of Christians that earned their marriage license when this whole gay thing became legal, because they were really against what happened, gay marriage and stuff. So they felt like if the government is going to support that, they didn't want to be connected to government being married in their eyes. So they burned their marriage license. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and thanks for watching my video.